Good afternoon and welcome to Endless Boxing University EBU. And with me, I've got our super middleweight from Manchester, Mr. Brad Rea. Ray, sorry, I keep doing it, don't I? This is no technological breakdown. This is the road to hell. That's what you say to your opponents.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Yeah, one day you'll get it right, but we're getting there.
Maybe you'll get it right and realize your name is pronounced Rea. Only joking, but give my regards to Uncle Chris all the same. So, Brad, the last time I saw you, you put out an absolute knockout performance on VIP promotion show, which was on YouTube, and I was delighted I could watch it. And it was brilliant and very impressed with you. And like I said before we started, I think the new weight suits you down to the ground.
Yeah, definitely. I think 3 fights now I've had at super middleweight, and I feel like I'm well suited to it. Definitely, I think it's the way that I should be competing at now, and yeah, it's a great division. It's a great division to be involved in, and hopefully sooner rather than later I can get in the mix and hopefully get off these smaller shows and get back on the big shows and back in some big fights.
Yeah, I mean, Boxer and Sky, like they're calling out for a guy like you. That being said, I mean, well, no, actually, it's not their show. It's the Magnificent Seven that I'm going to on St. Patrick's Eve in Birmingham, which has your kind of guy I always spoke of you two fighting. Brad Pauls is fighting for the English middleweight. I know it's the one below you, Crown, against Stokes' Nathan Heaney. So, do you think? Well, uh, Nathan's a bit long in the tooth, but do you think Brad will eventually end up with super middle, and you could end up finally getting it on?
Yeah, it was always the fight that we talked about when it was down at middle, me and Brad Pauls and me and Heaney as well. Like they were all kind of the lads that I was looking about when I was at 160. But I don't know if Pauls has got that. He's got the height for super middle, maybe. I think Heaney's a big lad at the weight, but he is a bit older than me, and I think if he's been making the weight consistently for the past few years, I think he'll probably end his career there.
Yeah, well, I mean, no offense to Heaney. I mean, his winning the British title was a super success for him, but I mean, winning it at super middleweight might be a bridge too far, because he's hardly going to come down and compete for the English at super middleweight if he's won the British at middleweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But that win against Bentley, I didn't have him down for it. Not many people.
Neither did I. Now I really didn't. I thought that would be, but Bentley, I thought was he didn't perform to his best on the night. I'll put it that way, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I do agree with that. But I think a lot of that as well could be down to Heaney, not letting him perform.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Heaney performed out of his skin that night and deserved his title and deserved all the credit because he's been carrying so many of those shows, those British shows, with his huge crowd from Stoke. And you know what it's like to try and sell tickets, and he just sells them by the bucket load in Stoke. He's got a whole. Is Stoke a town or a city? It's a city, Stoke City, yeah. He's got a whole city behind him. I mean, I know it's a slightly more different in Manchester because it's a bigger city, so it's more dispersed. There's different sections of the city. I suppose you've got Salford, and I mean, you have Manchester's effectively broken up. I mean, Salford's a city in itself. And what part of I know you're a big Man City fan, and you're one of the few that turn up to the games. It actually must feel strange for you when you go to a boxing show and it's full. You're like, oh, they fill out arenas. What's that about?
I'm telling you now, right? I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
That's a myth. That it's a myth. You try and go to a City game, it's harder than what people say getting
I was
tickets.
at a City game last year. I was in the City end, and I watched Man City beat the crap out of Arsenal.
You know what? I was there too, and he had a great day.
Well, someone did. It was so funny because, like, I was sitting beside this guy, and he was a brilliant Man City fan, and I knew all the Arsenal players, and I was kind of, falling over the City ones. I was like, I am not a very good Man City supporter here.
You should try it, mate. It's great. You win loads.
Oh, yeah, jumping on bandwagons ain't my style, you know. But my uncle supported City all his life, so it's mad now that they're doing well because my dad and all them support Liverpool because they used to be doing well. And well, something tells me Klopp might be getting a farewell present from the FA if they keep getting those dodgy decisions.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? I'm still fairly confident that we're going to pull it out of the bag. You know, I think
Well, to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, I just think if City, City are in fourth gear, if they drop it into fifth, they're going to leave everyone behind, and that's just it. I mean, they have a B team that could win the Premier League. Never mind an A team.
yeah, you know, I think Arsenal is looking good though. They're still in the mix. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, if you peel back that first 11, it gets very sparse, and that's
Yeah,
what cost us last year. I mean, without our absolutely stellar centre back Saliba and Gabriel beside him, but without the two of them together, all of a sudden we don't look as strong. We don't have a recognised number 9, but it doesn't seem we're going to play that anymore. 4-3-3 seems to work. But anyway, we're talking about football. I think we should be talking about boxing.
easily happened very easily.
Oh, anyway, so back to boxing. So, do you think you will be as successful as Manchester City this season?
That's a big ask, I think. But
I think it's a huge ask of everyone because you'd have to win a European title, the actually English Premier League it is. So it's an English title, a British title, and I don't know what a cup is in boxing terms, but it's a big ask of anyone. But what are your kind of obviously you're settling into super middleweight and you have more fights. So what would you like to maybe fight for an area title or try an English title at super middle, or what's your kind of goal at the end of this year?
yeah, obviously I fell short last time I boxed for the English, so the English is always something I've wanted to pick up. Obviously fight this coming Saturday, just on a small horse show, and then for me I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to get back in some big fights.
Yeah, well, I mean, your performance last time was brilliant. So if you put out another big performance on Saturday, I'm sure Sky Sports would be dying to have you back on their television screen. And there's a few good, they have a few shows lined up. I'm sure you'd slot into nicely.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you say, a good win on Saturday, and then put me in a big fight. You know, I'm good to go. But I do want to gradually build up to that level. You know, these a lot of them lads, the top super middleweights, you know, they've been active, they've been boxing a lot at a good level, and you know, I'm new to the weight, and I feel like I'm settling in well. But I think after Saturday night, I think the English title could be a good next one for me, and then you know, kind of progressing from there.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna take it one fight at a time, and you know, I've only been with a new coach kind of 7 months now, so I am still adapting. Although you know, I think I'm getting there now. Things are falling into place.
And how
Um,
are you finding the new coach? I mean, I thought your last performance was one of the best performances I've seen from you, so it must be going well.
yeah, you know, I think things are clicking now. Things are really clicking and falling into place, and it was difficult at first because it was so different to what I was used to. You know, a very different style of boxing, a very different style of coaching, and you know, obviously I've moved away now, living in Blackpool, away from home, away from
Oh, so
friends.
you live in Blackpool.
I'm living in Blackpool, yeah.
So do you walk the donkeys on the day off?
Yeah, go for fish and chips and go on the big
And
one.
no candy floss now, or you'll be fighting at light heavyweight.
Yeah, but you know, it's been a lot of changes, and you know, at first it took a bit of time to adapt, but you know, I feel like I'm getting there now, and I feel like when I'm back on that big stage, that was the whole idea of boxing on these smaller shows, and you know, working kind of away from the spotlight, behind closed doors, and you know, I wanted when I am back on the big stage and in a big fight, I wanted people to go like, you know, wow, where's he been hiding? You know, what's he been doing? I didn't want him to go, oh, you know, Brad looks a little bit better, doesn't he? Yeah, he boxed well.
Mm.
I want to surprise people, and I feel like after Saturday night, I'm ready to do that.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. Yeah. So what do you know about your opponent, or what's he got on offer now?
Yeah, so he's a tough lad, another journeyman, Polish, I think, foreign lad, and like I say, he don't get stopped very often. A bit similar to my last opponent, but
Well, like a journeyman don't like getting stopped because it stops their money.
yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
they can't earn if they're stopped.
You know, and they're very good at what they do. They're very good at
Oh
select,
yeah,
know all the tricks of the trade. But you know, it was something that I had in the head that if I was going to be on these smaller shows for a little bit, since moving up and since the change of coach, I know I was going to have 2 or 3 fights on the small hall shows, and you know, I knew I was going to be fighting opposition like this. It was, you know, I want to be beating them in a fashion that nobody usually does. You know what I mean? If they don't get hurt, if they don't get dropped, I want to be hurting them. I want to be dropping them. If they don't get stopped, I want to be getting them out of there. And you know, I feel like that's what I've done so far. And you know, we've got another tough, durable opponent on Saturday, and you know that's my plan again. You know, I plan to get him out of there, and I plan to make a statement. You know, let him know that me now at super middleweight, you know, it's not the same kid that was in there at middleweight, you know, a year and a half ago.
yeah. And will VIP, is that with VIP Promotions?
Yeah, that's on VIP again.
Or will it be on their YouTube?
It's streamed live on YouTube on Saturday
Brilliant.
night.
So for anyone like me that can't get to Blackpool, because I will go, I will be at one of your fights, I promise. It's just I'm going to the rugby the next day, so I am the other end of the country. But I am going to see Brad Pauls first.
Yeah, oh, is he your favourite, Brad? Is that how it is? I see
No,
how
it's
it is.
not how it is at all. You went off to super middleweight and started fighting on days that I have other things on, like rugby, you know. I'm sorry, but you're not going to compete with England versus Ireland just yet. Maybe if it was a world title at the Etihad, maybe, but not at the moment.
Yeah, I'll let you off with that one then.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely be watching because I actually thought that Rea thing was on Saturday. It's on Friday.
What's that? Sorry.
The whole Ngannou.
Oh yeah, Friday night. Friday
That's
night.
Friday because I bought it and then I cancelled it because I thought it was Saturday. I was like, well, that'll be no good because I'll be in England, and if you buy it in Ireland, you can't watch it in England because you left the fucking European Union. Swear to God, I can't watch anything legally in the UK that I've paid for in Ireland. It's such a pain in the bum. But I will be able to watch your fight then because it'll be on YouTube. So that's no problem. I'll definitely be watching that after after Ireland demolish England. I will watch you demolish your Polish opponent.
I'll tell you that. I can't say I'm a big rugby fan, to be honest. I'm all set for City Liverpool on Sunday though.
Oh well, I mean, part of me would want City to just smash Liverpool, but then I'm afraid if you smash Liverpool, that'll be it. There'll be no stopping you. And then part of me wants Liverpool to win, but then part of me's not able to listen to fucking Scousers anymore. So a draw, I think, is what I'm going to ask for.
Yeah, I think.
But I do think City dropping points would be far more beneficial than Liverpool dropping points for Arsenal.
Yeah, well, Liverpool are getting it Sunday, and then Arsenal are getting it a week later anyway, so it don't really matter.
We'll see. We'll see. We beat you this season already, remember?
Yeah, we let everyone beat us the first half, and then we let
that's what I kept saying. Just watch out for Rodri back, and all of a sudden it's a different game.
Yeah, it's game changer. So no, I'm looking
and obviously, you know, that little Belgian as well that we don't speak of very often.
the one.
Oh, they're a class apart. They're actually, when they're in full flight, they're amazing to watch. Their semi-final against Real Madrid last season made me go, we can't compete with that. We can't compete with that. People went to Arsenal, threw away the league. They didn't. They still had to play City twice, and they weren't going to beat that Man City. So what do you want?
Very true. Very true.
You know, games in hand mean nothing if they're against Manchester City, let me tell you.
We've done it again, haven't we? We need to get back to the boxing.
Well, I thought we did it all discussed. You're going to fight this opponent. You're hopefully going to put on a storming performance. And then Ben Shalom and Boxer are going to stand up and take notice. And I hope to see you in the ring for the English title either the end of this year or the start of next year. Is that okay, Brad?
Perfect. That's the plan.
Good man. And I promise if it doesn't clash with anything else, I will get to that English title fight. And if it does clash with some things, I'll try and move them out of the way.
No,
Okay?
you'll get there
There
one
you
day.
go. That's a promise. And
Top man.
I'll even go on your donkey ride the next day when you're earning your money. Bradley Ray's donkey rides. How much is it? £5 or something?
For a donkey?
For a donkey ride? I don't fucking know. Isn't that what you do in Blackpool? Donkey rides and candy floss.
You know what? I can't say. I know. I've not even had a fish and chips while I've been living here. That's what you do. You go to Blackpool for a fish and chips. I've not even had one.
Well, you better not have any Blackpool Rock, because that'll
Oh.
really set you off the edge. But Blackpool, it's beautiful. I'm sure running on the beaches. Do you do that at all? You know.
Yeah, that's the only benefit of Blackpool.
No, but you know what I mean. It's like that scene from Rocky when they were running on the beach. But I mean, like you see a lot of boxers running on beaches because I think it's the resistance of the sand or something. But
yeah, it is a lot. We do a lot of running on the sand dunes, over the sand dunes, which is an absolute killer. That's brutal.
yeah, but that's the whole point, because it's sand just slows you down, and you know it's like trying to fight in quicksand, you know. So it's the resistance that's brilliant, and it'll set you up nicely. Anyway, Brad, best of luck on Saturday. I'll be watching on YouTube in my hotel in London after Ireland smash England, and look forward to your English title by the end of the year. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Bye bye. Slán Fall.
That's